Hello everyone, my name is Nilanjan Chatterjee, and as we know that we have been discussing KA's main syllabus, and today we are going to discuss the Indus Valley Civilization, an in-depth exploration of the civilization. The Indus Valley Civilization, which is also known as the Harappan Civilization, was one of the world's most remarkable early urban cultures, okay, flourishing from approximately 3300 BCE to 1300 BCE. It spanned a vast area encompassing modern day India, Pakistan, and some parts of Afghanistan. Now, before coming to the first slide of our video, I would like to mention a few things. In this video, we are going to cover some major aspects of the Indus Valley civilization and not all the aspects, because in the next video we'll have a separate video for the rest of the aspects of the Indus Valley civilization. Please stay in touch. So in this video we'll be covering, on one hand, the geographical extent of the civilization. On the other hand, the point number two is the discoveries and the legacies of the legends of the Indus Valley civilization. And point number three, the town planning of the Indus Valley civilization. I will also try to give you some details about some significant sites of Indus Valley civilization that is there in India. Uh, Discovery and nomenclature. Before we come to the first point of the first slide, I would like to mention, although Dayaram Sahani was the first person in 1921 to discover ruins at Harappa, which is located in Pakistan right now. In early 19th, mid 19th century, scholars like Charles Mason, okay, and in late 19th century, Alexander Cunningham discovered certain relics in the Indus regions, but they could not associate those relics, those excavated remains, with a civilization like Indus Valley civilization. And that is why we say that 1921, in 1921, Dayaram Sahani was the first person to discover, okay, remains of Indus Valley civilization. And in 1922, Rakhaldas Banerjee uncovers Mohenjo-Daro in Sindh, Pakistan, which is also located in Pakistan. But these two discoveries led the British government officially declare the discovery of the Indus Valley Civilization, which took place in 1924. Sir John Marshall declared the discovery of Indus Valley Civilization. Initially named Indus Valley Civilization due to its concentration along the Indus River, later discoveries revealed a broader geographical reach of the civilization, leading to terms like Harappan civilization, referencing its type site. Okay. So in the next slide, as we can see, we've come to the geographical extent of the civilization. The Indus Valley civilization covered approximately 1.25 million square kilometers, stretching from the Makaran coast in the west to the Ganga Yamuna Doab in the east, and from the Himalayan foothills in the north to the Run of Kutch in the south. Okay. For factual informations, western limits of the Indus Valley civilization was Sutkagendor, which is located near the Pakistan-Iran border. The northern limits of the Indus Valley civilization was Shortughai, which is located in Afghanistan. The eastern limit is located in Daimabad, Maharashtra. Okay, now we have come to the chronology of Indus Valley civilization. So it is important to note the chronology of the Indus Valley civilization. Why? Because we have divided, the historians have divided Indus Valley civilization into different phases. Okay, it's very crucial to know the phases, different phases of Indus Valley civilization. Okay, the early Harappan phase is the first phase of Indus Valley civilization. Okay, the early Harappan phase that begins in 3300 BCE. Okay, the beginning of early Harappan phase. Okay, one of the major characteristics of the early Harappan phase was the small fortified settlements. Okay, emergence of trading networks and rudimentary urban planning in those fortified settlements can be seen in the early Harappan phase of Indus Valley Civilization that started in 3300 BCE. Okay, it's very important to remember this point. The next is end of early Harappan phase that took place in 2600 BCE, and the key sites of the early Harappan phase are Kot Diji and Amri in Sindh. Okay, and there are different cultures, different material cultures associated with the early Harappan phase of Indus Valley civilization, which are also important. And these Kot Diji and Amri in Sindh, uh, these sites include distinct pottery styles and evidence of craft specialization. Okay, and Kalibangan in Rajasthan offers evidence of plowed fields and fire altars. This is also very important. Kalibangan, which is an early Harappan site, is also extremely crucial to note that it offers evidence of plowed fields and fire altars. Okay, now we've come to the next point, that is the mature Harappan phase. Okay, the mature Harappan phase begins in 2600 BCE. Okay, it is also known for the urbanization, the process of urbanization with standardized architecture, advanced drainage system, and widespread trading networks. Okay, the end of the mature Harappan phase is in 1900 BCE, and this phase, the entire mature Harappan phase, represents the zenith of Indus Valley civilization with prominent cities like, this is extremely crucial, Mohenjo-Daro, Harappa, Dholavira, and Lothal, exhibiting meticulous planning. Okay, key architectural marvels like Great Bath of Mohenjo-Daro and the Great Assembly. These are crucial in this mature Harappan phase. Okay, this is the most important part of Harappan civilization, the mature Harappan phase. And if you look at all these phases of Indus Valley civilization, you'll find that Harappa is the only common site, okay, in every single phase of the civilization. Okay, that is why we refer to different phases of our Indus Valley civilization in relation to Harappa. Okay, as in early Harappa, mature Harappa, and now we have come to the late Harappan phase, which started in 1900 BCE. Okay, and it is also known for deurbanization, cultural fragmentation, and regional diversification that took place during this time, and it ended in 1300 BCE. This period is characterized by decline and deurbanization. Sites like Rangpur in Gujarat and Cemetery H in Harappa reveal continuity in certain crafts and evolving burial practices, indicating a gradual transformation rather than an abrupt end of the civilization. So, the abrupt end of Harappa and Mohenjo-Daro, or the entire Indus Valley civilization, did not take place. We'll have a separate video regarding the decline of the Indus Valley civilization. Let's not jump into the conclusion that everything by the end of this late Harappan phase evaporated like anything. It's not like that. It declined gradually. We'll get into that. But for now, you have to remember one thing. By 1300 BCE, the civilization got gradually extinct. Now we have come to the next point, that is the urban planning. Okay, under the section of urban planning, there are a few important points that I want to mention. One is the grid layout. Okay, streets, okay, intersected at right angles, forming a systematic grid in Indus Valley civilization, and the main streets in the Indus Valley civilization were wide and paved, okay, accommodating carts. They were wide and paved so that they could accommodate carts and other forms of transport, showcasing advanced urban design principles. Okay, the next point is standardized construction. The burnt bricks were used for construction with and was standardized in 1:2:4 ratio, were universally used for buildings and also for drainage. Okay, and this ensured structural uniformity all across the Indus Valley civilization. As we've already mentioned, the advanced drainage system can be seen throughout all the sites of Indus Valley civilization, with an underground system connected to soak pits and larger conduits with inspection holes for maintenance can be found in Indus Valley civilization, with an elaborate water supply system. Okay, we'll be specifying about these features of town planning in our next slides. Okay, but before that, fortification is another important feature of Indus Valley civilization, particularly in relation to town planning, because typically, Indus cities or Indus sites were divided into two broader segments. One is the citadel, that is the upper town, and the other one is the lower town. Okay, the citadel was always or most of the time fortified, and there was a commercial town that was the lower town. Okay, so that is why the significance of fortification as is needed to be noted. Okay, now we have come to the final part of our discussion of today's video, that is the major sites of Mohenjo-Daro or Indus Valley civilization. The first point that is going to be discussed is Mohenjo-Daro. Okay, Mohenjo-Daro was one of the major sites of the Indus Valley civilization. That is important to note. Mohenjo-Daro has the largest and best preserved city amongst all the Indus Valley sites. Okay, and it is known as Mound of Dead. Okay, it showcases a well-planned grid layout with streets oriented along cardinal directions. As we can see in this visual, uh, how the streets and how the how the streets were planned and how the town was crafted in Mohenjo-Daro. Also, the Great Bath was located in Mohenjo-Daro, a large public water tank believed to be used for ritual bathing and purification. Okay, lined with bricks and featuring a sophisticated drainage system. Okay, a very sophisticated drainage system. So, two major things that we can see: one is the Great Bath and a very sophisticated drainage system. Okay, and advanced residential areas, homes made of baked bricks with courtyards, private bathrooms, and advanced drainage systems can be found in Mohenjo-Daro. Now, the next slide, we can see the major site that we are going to discuss is Harappa, site number 2. Uh, the first point under Harappa is that the grid pattern layout, the streets of Harappa run north to south and east to west, similar to Mohenjo-Daro. Okay, and granaries and public buildings are peculiar features of Harappa. The large granary that is located in Harappa indicates the importance of agriculture and food storage in Indus Valley civilization. Strategically located public buildings suggest centralized governance. Okay, on one hand you have granaries, on the other hand you have public buildings. Okay, there is an assembly also which is located in the central assembly, which is located assembly hall, which is located in Harappa. Another important point is the craft production centers. Okay, evidence of specialized workshops for bead making, pottery, and metallurgy. Okay, bead making, pottery, and metallurgy, highlighting economic complexity and trade specialization. We'll be discussing about economy, society, and culture along with religion in our next video. Please stay in touch to know about those aspects also. Now we have come to the third important side, that is Dholavira. Dholavira, it is extremely well known for a complicated water supply system. Okay, a very complicated and well distributed water supply system. Okay, it has a citadel, which is the administrative center, a middle town, very unique, a middle town, which is a residential area for the elites, and finally a lower town. Okay, with where the general population residents was placed. Okay, were placed. Uh, so this was the peculiarity, the three layers of town planning. Okay, was the peculiarity of Dholavira archaeological site, which is one of the crucial sites of Indus Valley Civilization, located in Gujarat. Dholavira is unique for its three-part city layout. It's renowned for sophisticated water conservation system, including reservoirs, steeples, and rainwater harvesting channels. As we mentioned, it has very sophisticated water supply and water storage system. Okay, that is noteworthy. Now, Lothal is our fourth significant site, which happened to be the ancient port city of Indus Valley Civilization and one of the world's earliest known ports. Okay, and located near Gulf of Khambat. Okay, facilitating maritime trade with distant regions like Mesopotamia. Okay, if we look at the historical records of Mesopotamia, Indus Valley Civilization, or at least the people of South Asia, okay, the center of their civilization was noted as Meluha. Okay, and with an advanced dockyard. Lothal has an advanced dockyard since it was the major port center of the Indus Valley Civilization. It had an advanced dockyard for ships and boats. One of the earliest examples of port facilities in the world. Okay, and also grid pattern layout with intricate drainage system, which is a feature of the urban planning of Lothal. Now, point number five, that is Kalibangan, site number five, uh, which is also known for agricultural practices. Located in Rajasthan, Kalibangan provides valuable information about Harappan agricultural practices. Okay, excavations in Kalibangan reveal evidence of plowed fields, indicating advanced farming techniques. Okay, and uh, in urban features, the site features a grid pattern similar to other major sites with fortified citadel areas. Okay, so that is how we can map the urban town planning of Indus Valley Civilization, and we can assess how much urban the civilization was in terms of town planning. So the legacy of the Indus Valley Civilization, in conclusion: point number one, advanced town planning. Point number two, water management. We can mention the importance of Dholavira for sophisticated water supply and water reservoirs, as well as the Great Bath. The trade networks, Lothal is very important for the trading networks and technological innovations. Okay, for example, Harappa, which was extremely important for craft production. Also, some sites in Pakistan like Chanudaro, okay, and some sites in like Nageshwar, Balakot, these were also important for technological innovations and craft production. Okay, there are many historians who've worked on Indus Valley Civilization. So there are some significant historians who have worked on Indus Valley Civilization. For example, Jonathan Mark Kinnour, okay, uh, who works specifically on Indus seals and town planning. Along with him, George Dells. Okay, these historians have worked rigorously on Indus Valley Civilization. If you have any query, Please feel free to ask your questions in the comment section, and hang on and wait for our next video on the Indus Valley Civilization, which will be concentrating on society, culture, religion, and economy of Indus Valley Civilization. Stay tuned. Thank you very much.